Hey YouTube, Safety here. So I just got out of one of my college classes at the local college that I'm going to, and I'm taking a few classes, but this one in particular was my anthropology class. Now we're talking about all the different things that humans have done or humans and societies have done over the thousands of years in order to survive and gather what they need from agriculture, horticulture, foraging, hunting and gathering. And it's been about a 3-class period lecture over all these topics, going over all the definitions and the words and class discussions. And the class is a large-scale class. It's about 250 people who sit in an auditorium, and we all sit and lecture with the teacher. And the teacher's really open. It's a really fun class. I really enjoy the lectures. Teacher and student conversations go on through the whole class. It's a lot of fun. Today she had us do a little project. We got to group up in any size group we wanted, 3 to 8 people, whatever works. And she put up a scenario on the board. The scenario was a zombie apocalypse. Now, she specified that, it's not because of the new fad with all the zombie apocalypse stuff going on. She said she's been teaching this class the exact same way for the last, 10 years, and she's been into zombies for a long time. She's not really like a zombie nut, but she really enjoys the concepts of what the zombie scenario brings out in people. So, we're in a coastal city, not directly on the coast, but we have a slough that comes into our town. We're about 45 minutes north of San Francisco here in California. And right now, weather, it's probably about 56 degrees outside, completely cloudy, scattered showers. It's supposed to rain till about 5 o'clock tomorrow morning and then kind of taper out a little bit. But it's definitely going to get cold tonight, and it's the 4th of April, so the moon cycle is pretty low. So these are all things that I took into account when she asked us to do this project. But she wanted us to group up with some classmates, and we could only have what we had on us. We couldn't even have our backpack or our water bottles, just what we had on our physical person at the time. And every structure and every other human being other than the people in your group is gone. So it's just barren landscape, no other people, and pretty much all the people have become zombies, so now everyone's zombies. And these aren't the slow, stupid zombies that are easy to kill. These are the smart, fast-moving zombies. What she asked us to do was to make an inventory of what we have and pretty much plan out a survival plan and to get us out of Dodge, to get us out and to get us to where we want to be, how we're going to survive. And of course, anyone who's into any sort of survival knows that with just 3 people and no other person on the earth, death is the only thing that's there. We're all going to die eventually. There's no way that 3 people can survive. My group personally, there's 3 people, me and 2 other females. Even with the ratio, even with reprocreation, there's no way that we could repopulate and keep the gene pool safe and everything. It's just impossible. It's not going to work. Plus, 3 people trying to manage 1 baby or 2 babies, it's just not going to work. It's impossible. But the concept of this was more to get you thinking about what you could do, what's around you, what's in your environment, and what you can do right now. And for the teacher to kind of show how little the standard population, because it's a class of random selected 20 to 40-year-olds in a junior college in Northern California. So for essence of time with this video, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Pretty much what I came up with was probably what I could tell was the best that was demonstrated in class. And even with that, I stated in class, even with what I was doing with my knowledge and skill, still only about a 20% survival rate, and even that with 3 people, a 60% survival rate of one of us surviving the night, not very good odds, and it's pretty tough. What this video is to do is just get you thinking about that concept. You're all of a sudden dropped in the middle of nowhere, but it's your hometown, not even just some wilderness area. What are you going to do to survive? Think of that. Put the messages down below in the comments. But then also on top of that, take into account everything else you need. Now, for instance, we were only allowed to have what we want. So of course we've got a sense of time that will help. Midday the next day when I'm not quite sure what time it is and the sun's being blocked by the clouds, or something just to watch to keep my mind from going crazy when I'm on watch duty that night to try and get through the first dark night. The only thing I didn't account for in that we had about 20 minutes to do this project was the fact that we all did have our cell phones. Mine I know is fully charged because I have it fully charged almost all the time, especially if I've just left home in the last 20 minutes, which I walk across the street to school, so it's totally possible. iPhones and a lot of modern phones all have lights on them, so at least we have a form of flashlight, which is beneficial. So if you absolutely needed to escape or travel in darkness, you'd have your phone light to do that. Of course, if it's completely dark, you don't really want to travel in darkness because there's a high chance of falling and hurting yourself. And that's one thing we didn't touch in class at all was the clinical or medical concepts, both medications, first aid, or even possible mental issues. I mean, if you all of a sudden instantly are by yourself with two strangers, that means all of us have an entire chain of family that we have been abandoned by pretty much because they're gone. So if those family members are either dead or zombies, which means they're dead, there's going to be a point in time, either that first day or the first week or the first month or year of surviving, that we're going to have to come to terms with that. And everyone approaches it differently, and even by suppressing it could even cause a later reaction. But, you know, you might have to stop because you're not going to want to travel by yourself. You're better off staying in a group no matter what. So you're going to have to stop and deal with that. And if you run out of time, that means you're going to be dealing with that while building a shelter in a place that's not very safe. I had basic concepts, you know, travel to a destination where we want to try and set up camp. You know, we're going to work towards towards the coast. There's kind of a valley gap that we can shoot. It would probably take us about a full day's travel to get to the coast. Once we're at the coast, we can find a mountain area with some redwoods where we can kind of hike in and out in order to get food, to get water, get salt from the seawater, fish, all sorts of stuff that we can do there. The coast is probably the best bet to survive, especially the time of year. You know, we're about a month into spring, not even like 3 weeks into spring, 2 weeks, and the weather's only going to progressively get better, so which means theoretically it should be easier and easier to survive into the summer. But I just thought this was a really fun project, and I think anyone should put that out to people they know or love. Maybe a family get together, a power outage, you know, something fun where people can really think about it. But at the same time, also have them run the scenario of a realistic disaster event that could happen. Now, I live in Northern California, 45 minutes north of San Francisco, right in between the Hayward-Rogers Creek Fault and the San Andreas Fault. Both extremely dangerous fault lines, both expected to rupture in the next, like, minute, really. I mean, anytime between now and the next 10 years, they're almost guaranteed to produce a 6.0 or greater earthquake. So how about you put across that concept with your family members or friends or group of people. Put yourself in a scenario, okay, this is our group, you know, 8, 9, 10 people maybe. There's just been a major earthquake. We all group up in one spot. All the buildings are completely damaged, or 90% of the buildings are completely damaged. 90% of the structures, so bridges and everything, are damaged or destroyed, so you can't utilize them. So there's barriers, natural barriers, ponds, creeks, lakes, rivers, sloughs. Like I have in my town, there's a major slough that comes right through. So the town would literally be separated in half. And the half I'm on, unfortunately, would probably be the more devastated region. So run this concept through your own head, run it through your family members. Definitely, you know, post below, you know, let me know key things, key elements. I had a knife on me and a paracord bracelet. Those were about the most useful things we had. Of course, I have corrective lenses, so I could technically try and attempt to use my corrective lenses to create some sort of fire. But in reality, fire isn't even a priority in the first day. Here, we all had jackets, so we'd be trying to bundle up. If I'd had my backpack, I would have had a huge source of paper from notebooks, and I could have crumpled all that up and stuffed it in, but we weren't even allowed our backpacks. So there's a lot of elements to think about, and you could do all sorts of... Also, post your videos. Make a video response, either just you talking while looking at something nice, like show me your garden or something, and link them up to this video, and we'll start a little, like, survival blog or vlog. What a concept. You know, I don't think there's any of those out there anywhere. So, but, you know, join me. You know, let's start more of a community-based thing. I've been doing this for a little while, and I'm a little lonely here. So how about you guys come on over, and let's do something here on Safety or Freak. All right, this was Safety, and you guys stay safe. Peace.